Elon Musk, he just pulled off the impossible. Take a look at this. Of course, the richest man in the world is no shortcomer when it comes to making moves, but this is perhaps one of the most incredible things I have ever seen, because take a look at this. Elon Musk has taken Tesla stock year to date, meaning since 2023 started, up 93%. Now we compare that to some of the other top ones. Ford, 11%, one of the other top America-based car manufacturing companies. Amazon, not a bad gain, 16%. We had 22% for Apple, and then the best one of the ones I'm mentioning right now, Microsoft, not bad, up 13%, plus 3259 on the year to date, and down still on the year. But you compare what happened with Tesla to what happened with these other companies, it's not even close. And it's remarkable what Elon Musk has been able to do here. Not only is that a good sign for Dogecoin, which we happen to love seeing a lot, but it's also a good sign for the future of all the companies Elon Musk is working on. Take a look at this. You can see Elon Musk commenting in response to this tweet here. A lot has happened in the last 10 years. Pretty incredible to see how big of a spike we saw. And keep in mind, it is true, obviously, that Tesla stock went down a lot before spiking back a lot. So that certainly does play a role, but it doesn't make it really any less impressive, especially when you look at this in totality. Elon Musk was able to become the first car manufacturer in over 100 years, first car company in the United States to actually put profits on the balance sheet. It's unbelievably difficult to break into that market because almost all of those legacy automakers have huge fleets that are already out there, and then you pay a ton of money every single year for parts. And so that's how they make huge profits, and they can put their margins on actually selling cars significantly lower. Well, Tesla didn't have that advantage. They were starting from scratch. So the fact that he was able to do this and then have this spike here, nobody's even really noticing this. Have you seen any mainstream articles talking about how Tesla's gone up 93% since 2023 started? Have you seen a single tweet about it? Maybe here or there. Probably not. And keep in mind, I mean, we have a pretty large Twitter presence, right? And I haven't seen it. I'm on Twitter a decent amount. Where has it been? Keep in mind, I also posted this as well right here. TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. You can see this is the growth of them over the last few years. And it's pretty cool to see. So you see starting in Q1 of 2020, going to Q4 of 2022, aka the last 3 months of 2022. You can see TikTok saw a huge rise from 2020 all the way up until 2022, seeing its daily users in terms of hours going up from around 30 million in 2020 Q1 all the way up to 100 million, on par with Facebook. Remarkable to see that. We have seen Instagram also a decent sized little increase at the very end, but overall staying pretty flat. Twitter, though, what I'm expecting to happen is we're going to see Twitter actually coming up here and following a similar pattern to what TikTok did. It's been stagnant for so long. Why? Because the previous Twitter administration sucked at their jobs. Let's just be honest about it. There's a reason why no one else has hired them. I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? How do you not have one of the most fun to use, the best news sources on the internet? How do you not have that be successful? So it's good to see Elon Musk pulling off the impossible with Tesla. Now it's time to see him pull off the impossible with Twitter stock too, which, keep in mind, doesn't technically exist at the moment, but it will. Elon Musk is going to make Twitter a public company again at some point in the future, and when he does, I would love to see Twitter have an evaluation in the 200 to 250 billion range, which is a 5x from where it closed off at, approximately. Elon Musk paid around 50 billion, a little bit under that for Twitter, 44. And so to see it going up to that amount would be certainly beautiful, and all the people who are hating on him, I think it's possible. Right now, we have one clear goal that Elon Musk has when it comes to Twitter, and that's increasing users on a daily basis, which sounds obvious and simple, but I mean, it makes sense. I mean, take a look at this. You can see Apple, Microsoft, Saudi Arabia, which has Saudi Aramco, Alphabet, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, Tesla, Nvidia, TSMC, Saudi Aramco. Take a look at that. You can see all these companies at the top there. Tesla has now jumped back into that number 7 spot. Yes, it had gone below that for a period of time. It was actually all the way down out of the top 10 for a brief period of time, which is kind of crazy for Tesla stock. So to see it jumping back, it's nice to see. I mean, I don't know why more people didn't buy at that $100 Tesla stock price. That was a steal of a deal. I mean, you at that point, it's literally just walking away with it. I mean, you're basically getting it for free. Tesla, Doge, Twitter, to the moon. I happen to like the sound of that. Speaking of Dogecoin, take a look at this. You can see this is what Dogecoin has been doing. And of course, where's the spike, Matt? Where is it? Well, I made a video yesterday, and I said in that video, we need to trust the process when it comes to Elon Musk. What process am I referring to? Well, the same process that got Tesla stock up 93%. That's a process that we can trust here. Elon Musk knows what he's doing. He's still scheming, planning, and a lot of that is going to come with the next bull market. So it's frustrating to anyone who doesn't actually kind of have a window behind the scenes. But if you do, you're probably not too frustrated. You're more excited like I am. And take a look at this. You can see the entire crypto market over the last 7 days taking a little bit of a dump here. A little bit of a dump. 7.5% there. 10% BNB. Not good to see after it went up to 330. Binance Coin, Cardano, Dogecoin all falling decent amounts. They are up, a couple of them, on the last 24 hours, but only ever so slightly because we have not seen really any major green runway here for the crypto market in quite some time, with the exception of a little bit of a run in January that did see Bitcoin going up more than it's ever done in a January since 2013. Kind of crazy to think about that, but that was it. That was isolated. That month was the only month we saw something like that, and we haven't seen any other month besides that, and that is in part too correlated with the stock market going up, which, by the way, crypto outperformed the stock market by a pretty good amount. Even if you look at some of the best performers, with the exception of obviously stocks like Tesla, which just went insane, but when you look at the average, including even some of the best performers above average, crypto market absolutely destroyed it. Fun to see that. We also have some interesting things to look at here, which are certainly scary. Elizabeth Warren building an anti-crypto army. What the heck are you doing, Elizabeth Warren? You're building an anti-crypto army. Pretty disgusting to see anyone trying to harm or hurt an industry that just simply helps people out. I mean, yeah, there's a few problems that still need to be addressed, and there's many problems that haven't addressed. But at the end of the day, the crypto market helps people to find financial freedom. It helps people to no longer be reliant on the US dollar, which of course is why some of these people hate it. I mean, which is surprising. You'd think some of these people don't really seem to be rooting for the US dollar, and yet they're doing this, claiming it's against the US dollar. It's a little bit ridiculous to see that double-sided thing here. Also, this is a really crazy story. Wife of the doctor who drove Tesla off cliff doesn't want him to face charges, his lawyer says. You may remember this story. One of the most remarkable things, perhaps, ever. And that's not an understatement. It really is, perhaps, one of the most incredible things ever. One of the best stories that's ever been told. Also one of the worst stories that's ever been told. It's both the best, one of the best, and one of the worst. And that's true on the extremes. This is probably the saddest story I've ever seen, and also the most heartwarming, incredible, amazing story I've ever seen. How's that possible? How can it be both? Well, I'll tell you this. I'll explain. So you can see this is the Tesla car that went off a cliff, fell around 400 feet by some estimates. Some say 250, so somewhere between 250 and 400. I don't think anyone went with a tape measure, but a very, 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 very high cliff. You can see that's the condition of the car. Shockingly, the family, which includes 2 kids and a wife, and the dad, survived. This, falling in a Tesla, any other car, that would not have happened. Period. I don't think there's a single other car that would have survived something like that. Now, here's where we get to the sad part, though. So now, we know what actually happened here. A lot of people just assumed this car drove off on accident. It was perhaps a steering wheel mistake. Maybe they were going too fast. It actually wasn't any of those things. It was way sadder than that. So the dad decided he wanted to take himself and the 2 kids and remove all of them from the earth permanently, which is extremely disgusting. I mean, when I heard that part of this, I couldn't believe it. I mean, can you imagine? I have a 4.5-month-old, and she's the most precious, beautiful thing. I would literally jump off a cliff to save her, And yet this guy is driving off a cliff with his kids in the car. It's beyond comprehension. I don't care what you're going through. It's unacceptable. And this is just weird. Now the wife of this man is saying she does not want him to face any charges for trying to take out the 2 kids. Very, 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 very emotionally damaged family there. And I feel bad more than anything for the kids. I mean, thank God they survived. There has to be an angel watching over them, right, for them to survive that. And I mean, not to mention the fact that it is also incredible that Teslas are even capable of surviving that. Even still, I mean, just because they were in a Tesla, that wasn't guaranteed they were going to survive this. That was their highest chance by far, but they still had a very strong chance of not making it. Especially kids. There's not even nearly the same level of protection typically in back seats as there is in the front seat, and yet they still made it. And so I hope he does face charges. I mean, you just have to. There's no way around this. It's a crappy situation, and there's only one silver lining here, which is just the incredibleness of the survival. They hardly even had any injuries, apparently. It looks like, I imagine that could have been one of the injuries, something with his eye. They didn't go into too much detail in this story because obviously that's a much smaller point compared to the overall story here. But anyway, that's all the news for today. I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I'll see you in the next video.